start it off with the opening segment and welcome some more questions.
I just first and foremost thank the fans for the support again. I thought Ole Miss again was a heartbreaker, but who you all have been all year to support these young women has been awesome. For us to come out tonight, and again, this is what I love about this place, especially with class, is the round of applause we gave Johnny because she deserves that. She's done some remarkable things here, so I thank our fans for being with class and honoring her. And then just a shout out to my team. We talk about it all the time. Fall down 7, get back up 8. So what a night to get back up.
Sam still had a lot of turnovers in the game, but the game seemed to be won in that second quarter, and you only have one turnover.
Yeah.
Outscored them 33-4. What was the difference, you think, in that second quarter for y'all to push the lead out? I think you switched to zone, too, and that really affected them. But offensively and defensively, that second quarter, what did you see?
Yeah, I just think the supporting cast, obviously we always talk about Batman, but I just a shout out to the supporting cast. And I'm going to add Poe into that. I think Poe got 7 shots. I'm going to start with her first. When Poe gets shots, it spaces the floor. It gets her involved because you can't lose her, and it lets everybody else eat. And what a night for Chandler and Denham. I thought it was great, so it was good to see some other people step up. And then most importantly, we talked about in the first quarter, I told them we were at, I think, 7 turnovers. I said, what do y'all want to do? It's 15-13. You can score in this game if you quit turning it over. Like, there's no more yelling. There's nothing more they can do. They just got to keep realizing what we're doing. And so I think they were just really focused in, and we got shot attempts. And like I've always told them, it's scary how good this team could be. Like I've told y'all in media, I went through every team, Utah, whatever, South Carolina up 11, 21. I mean, we've got wow factor when we're dialed in. And you put 2 30-point quarters together. I think that's the most points they've ever given up in SEC play, or something. What was the stat? Most we've ever scored in SEC play. And again, we're capable of things like that when we're dialed in.
Coach, you've talked about how Denham doesn't always show up in the stat sheet, but tonight she did.
Yeah.
13 points, 7 assists, 1 turnover. I guess, what did you think of her performance tonight?
It was awesome. We referenced 2 of Auburn's losses this year were against Arkansas and Kentucky, and both of them have elite point guards. And this is a game that they were going to deny the wings, and they were really going to force pressure on the point guard where they had to make one-on-one plays. So I told her, you got to be aggressive. And aggressive to get downhill. If you get the shot, this is a game that everybody's got to be happy because that's the coverage they're going to give you. And if they pinch in, make the right pass. So just a credit to her for coming out. And then again, when you could pass the baton to Destiny, and Destiny was unbelievable at 4 for 4. Me and her had a little come to Jesus meeting real quick for a pass because I told her at that time where I think we were at 17 or 18 and was like, come on, we got to take care of the ball. But other than that, I thought she was phenomenal as well.
You've had 2 losing streaks this season of 2 games.
Yeah.
But after each one of them, tonight in the Oklahoma game, you've played some of your best basketball.
Yeah.
What do you think it just is about this group that's able to perform like that in those moments?
Yeah, I just think they're winners. I really do. I mean, I think, when you listen to all my press conferences going back, I've always said it. I love this group, right? I'm trying to find the answers. And a shout out to my coaching staff. I thought we had a great week of practice. And again, that's what makes it fun is even Chandler, she came out to hug me, and she was just like, that was a great practice. And I'm thinking to myself, we just lost 2 games, and my kids are in the locker room celebrating great practices. Like, how lucky am I? So it's just great to see the results take care of themselves, that you know what, if you put in the work, these are life lessons, that good things can happen, and they've got that juice. And I think that's a big reason because those kids at the end of the day are winners. They know they might not necessarily win the box score, but they're winner in lives. And when that kind of person, winning takes care of itself in the long haul.
You mentioned the other day that turnovers also impacted your defense. How much did cutting down the turnovers contribute to, I think Auburn missed 12 shots and had 2 more empty possessions there in that second quarter?
Yeah. We talked about it on that sheet. I said, y'all, here's 2 ways. Either 1, we clean up the turnovers, or 2, we got to get back a lot quicker. Like, that's just where we're at, right? So I just thought their mentality to sprint back. There's one that I'm going to have a nice little talk with them in film. All right, I'm Nia Russell, because I know she probably watched my press conference today. I'm coming for you, kid. She went down the lane, and she didn't rotate, and they got an and 1 on the free throw line. We could have got back. Okay, but other than that, there was great effort to your point. And when you do that, you can hold teams to 4. You can come from a turnover to a stop to now an awesome transition play. I thought there was a lot of that. One of the play of the game for me was near sprint. Right, it was awesome to see her run like no other. She self-evaluated after the Ole Miss and thought she could have played harder. So for her to see her come out and play as hard as she did makes me happy. Along with Kayla, I've talked about this, that we can go really big, and it was fun to see my bigs eat tonight.
Auburn's a team that, because they don't shoot a lot of threes, has to be around the basket. But you guys were still, almost doubled them up on the boards and 21 out of 24 on layups. So, what were some of the keys that allowed you to be so successful in the paint and really both sides of the ball there?
Yeah. Obviously, I think anytime you score like we did, it kind of puts a lot more pressure on those shots for them, right? Because it's not as easy. It's knowing that you're trying to stop a drought. And then just a shout out to Coach Castro. He had the scout along with my assistant coaches just really demanding 3 things this week. It was stance. Whether you play man or zone. We went back in the Ole Miss film, and even when we were in zone, we were getting beat off the bounce. And then obviously turnovers and then toughness. So I thought those 3 areas were great. Now turnovers could have been a little bit better, but to go 2 out of 3, I think is a shout out to my staff for really emphasizing it for these last 2 practices.
Coach, what did you see tonight that you want to see the rest of the season, especially to wrap up the SEC regular season?
Wins. Just the teamwork. Here's a play of the game for me. I was about to sub Poe in at the 3, and Jerk just hit a 3. Poe looked at me, and this is, again, a kid who didn't get many shots at Ole Miss game. And she looked at me, she says, I'm going to sit back down. Jerk's hot. And I'm thinking to myself again, just like I told you about the locker room, how lucky of a coach am I that I got winners like that who can sit there and say, nope, put Jerk back, keep Jerk in, coach, I'll go sit back down. So if we can have that unselfish behavior, especially like I talk about the kids who come off the bench, Kayla, Destiny, Chandler, Near, Shake, Carrier, everybody can't start. And I keep telling them we have a special team. Everybody's got to be willing to do the little things and believe in each other. And if we can shut out the outside noise and know what the truth is in this locker room, then we can do special things. So to answer your question, if I can bottle all that up and keep that going, we're going to have a special year.
Kind of bouncing off of that, last year, middle of the SEC schedule, y'all were in really good shape. And
No, don't jinx me, Robbie.
I'm just
don't jinx me. It's the free throw curse.
I'm just saying.
I know.
Do you sense something different with this group that you can kind of sustain here in the middle part of the schedule and finish strong, or what's kind of your read on this group with it being a different team?
My sense is I better do a heck of a job as the leader of this program to let them know how I feel upset last year. Am I allowed to say the word pissed? Good. I'm gonna say it again. Pissed. I'm pissed about last year. I talked about it. All right. That stinks for those kids who only had 1 year that we were 1 game short from making back-to-back NCAA trips. So my energy, I don't know what theirs is going to be, but my energy is going to stay on the gas. I keep saying this. I know you guys can write, hey, they're going to play Missouri. Did Missouri win tonight? They're off. Okay, so yeah, but they're prepared for us. Okay, it's a tough place to play. You can't play what their record is. They can shoot the 3. They mix up defenses. They're well coached. It's going to be an absolute war. So that's why I'm just trying to help them keep the blinders on and keep focused that we got to find a way to, again, if you can have 2 practices that are really good, I like our chances. But if y'all come in here happy that we won and then you go up and we don't practice well, then we're not going to learn from last year. And that's where I hope, to your point, we grow. Thanks for don't jinx me, Robbie.
Coach, you talked earlier this week about showing your team some film about how good they can be.
Yeah.
So is that dominant second quarter kind of like we've been kind of preaching to them, saying how this is how good you can be?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if we've done it all year, 2 30-point quarters back to back. Yeah, like I'm in awe. Again, but that doesn't surprise me. I know it's hard because I come in here with y'all and we talk about what's going wrong. And like I said, this team is special. I believe it. And that's where I want them to focus. Like the wins we keep on saying we had are special wins. And they got to stay in the course. So, yeah, we're filling that cup up. But like I said, it's all about practice and celebrate tonight and back to work tomorrow.
Coach, we talked just yesterday about the confidence they have in the depth of your roster. You had 5 girls in double digits.
Yeah.
Destiny with 8, Poe with 6. Talk again about knowing that any of these girls, when called upon, can step up in games like this to provide these results.
Yeah, it's huge. I said this when I first took the job, that I left a culture at Louisville where it was all about teams, and that's what the mission was, to go recruit the best players in the country, but find a group of young women that would play together as a team. And that's the product I want to put on the floor night in and night out. So for these stats to come alive like they are, to your point, and you've got that supporting cast who's able to put up those numbers, but most importantly, if you go back and watch that film, their teammates are smiling and jumping as happy as anybody. It makes me feel really good about where our team is now, and we got to stay hungry. Thanks, everybody.